There's only one being. There's just being. You can only find yourself in everything. You can only find your being in everything. You are everything, which is no thing. Formless, infinite, limitless, unseeable, because you're not an object. You're the one aware, the field of awareness from which all experience appears and disappears. And you can only find yourself in everything, in every experience. Just close your eyes and seat back, fucking rest in yourself, in your being. Just feel yourself as the one that feels. You don't have a body. You're the one feeling, sensing the sensation that we call a body. But even that is your formless self, as infinite, open, empty awareness. And just resting as being, resting in yourself. Notice how expansive and infinite you are. You can't find an end or beginning. So vast, so limitless, immeasurable, dimensionless. And as pure consciousness, basking in yourself, notice that the sound of this voice appears within you and that you can't separate your awareness from this voice. This voice is awareness. You can only find yourself in this voice. You can only find yourself in everything. You're what everything is made of. Just like the dream at night, the dream world with all the people, with all the appearances. And upon awakening from the dream, you realize the world was made of your mind, was made of your consciousness. Every sound, taste, texture, sight, sound, everything. Every smell, is made of you, made of your formless being. All a projection, a dream made of you as the one imagining, the one dreaming. And just like the dream at night, you weren't in the dream. You were the one mind dreaming it. So you're God, and this is your beautiful imagination. You're the only one here. The only one dreaming. Dreaming yourself is the sound of this voice. Appearing to yourself, within yourself, as the sound of this voice. Appearing as these words from which you can only find yourself as pure being. And it can become so obvious that all there is yourself as pure consciousness, formless being, and there is no border or division or separation from the sound of this voice and the body that you see in the mirror, or what you label the inside of the body, or the thought, or the outside world. It's all appearing within you. The whole universe is appearing within you as the source. You're the source of this voice. The source of everything. Appearing is everything. You're the empty potential from which thought form appears, manifest. But all you can find in thought form is yourself as awareness. And all you can find in anything manifest is yourself as the unmanifest. So everything you see is your formless, infinite being. Everything you see is unmanifest, limitless, invincible. Without rules, without limits. So what you're looking at is the formless, is your formless infinite self, appearing as imagination. So you can experience yourself. Because how else could you, being formless, unmanifest, singular, you wouldn't know anything. You would know nothing. So you dream what you're not, to recognize what you are as a reference point. And how could you wake up from the dream without dreaming? So what a beautiful love story. So just like imagining the dream last night, dreaming a character, inquiring, what is it that knows my experience? What is it that's aware of this? That's the one dreaming that's asking that question. The one dreaming, the one consciousness that sees itself, recognizes itself. So it's not the character in the dream that wakes up. It's you as the infinite mind that's dreaming, that got lost in the fantasy of the character and in the thoughts and in the stories. So with the self-inquiry and the meditating on your being is the dreamer meditating on itself, seeing itself, looking at itself, recognizing itself. And then you see how obvious it is that this is how it's always been. You've always been this being, this presence, this sense of self, this felt sense I am. It's what you've always referred to as myself, as I, that which is always constant, always continuously here now, always present, never leaves. That's your formless infinite self, infinite being, the absolute that you are. And it beautifully and innocently got caught up with the qualities of the dream, with the information and the imagination, that you as the infinite mind are vibrating within yourself, tasting yourself as these unique frequencies within yourself. So even the objects of awareness are not what they appear to be. They're not objective. There's nothing finite within you. There are no objects. There's just pure subjectivity, pure experiencing, pure seamless frequency undulating within itself, tasting itself intimately, immediately. And you can taste yourself as anything. You're infinite. So everything you see is a thought form in your own mind. Tasting yourself as these qualities, these unique ideas, so that you can appear to yourself as the universe. And you can experience yourself as the universe. All of this is appearing in your infinite mind. So what's appearing is not what it appears to be. It's yourself as the infinite mind, formless, infinite, limitless, appearing to yourself as mental qualities. And where did those words go? They never happened. Notice this field of awareness that you are. These words are appearing and disappearing, superimposed on you, but you remain untouched, unaffected. You're completely still and unchanging, completely immaculate, content always, expansive always, limitless always. Nothing sticks. You've never even had a thought. Nothing's ever happened. You're completely free, born just now. Nothing happened before this. There was no before this. There's no time. You're timeless being, timeless awareness. And this being that you are has no body, has no form, but is the one feeling the sensation we call a body, the one aware of the qualities, the one aware of the character, the source of the character, imagining, dreaming the character, the one hearing the sounds, the one feeling the textures, the one tasting the flavors, appearing to yourself within yourself as flavor, as unique frequency, formless. You are the one sensing and seeing, aware being, but you yourself are not an object that can be known. Just like the eye can't see itself, it can't stand apart from itself in subject-object relationship. To see itself, it can only be itself. So you as pure awareness, pure being, you can't stand apart from yourself in subject-object. To know yourself as an object or to see yourself, you can only be yourself, which you always are. Even if you're getting wrapped up in the dream or wrapped up in the identifying as the character you're dreaming, or you're still always your immaculate self that's untouched, untainted. So this resting, falling through the gap between two thoughts, and this silent, empty awareness that you are, just, it can be so obvious that you are the consciousness from which all of this stuff is appearing. And this stuff is made of you. And that's your experience. And don't take my word for it. Experience it yourself. You're non-conceptual because you are prior to the mind. You're the source of the mind. So you can't find yourself with a thought. You're the one aware of the thought, giving rise to the thought. So the more you bask, the more obvious. The more you meditate, resting in your being, your presence, basking in your presence. This empty knowing from which everything's known, from which everything is made of the knowing, and all you can ever find is yourself. that stands revealed is already what's always been, you know. What you were referring to as I when the body was 5. And when the body was 20. And when the thoughts appeared and disappeared, and ideas and appearances, feelings. The awareness that you are always remains. So this raw essential being that you are is appearing as everything. And can appear to get covered up by being so submersed in the dream of experiencing, swept away with thoughts and story. So you're unqualified, and then you appear to qualify yourself with, I am this name and this body, and I am this mood, this feeling. But all of these qualities are appearing and disappearing within you. How could you be that? How could you be limited to that? So there can appear to be a recognition. Consciousness sees itself, which is what we call awakening. The one dreaming wakes up to itself. And you realize you're God dreaming this. You're this formless, infinite consciousness that's immortal and invincible. Like the poet William Blake quoted, if the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. And just like my best friend had the awesome fortune cookie that I've read before, but I want to read it again. The one who recognizes the illusion does not act as if it is real. So, waking up to yourself, realizing you are the formless, infinite consciousness. You don't even have a body. Even the body is bodiless. Even the body that you thought you were is formless, is your infinite mind. It can be anything. It's empty potential. It's unlimited. Everything's unlimited. Everything is your unlimited self. So that's the freedom. You can be anything. You can do anything. You're God dreaming. There's no limit to this. There's no rule to this. You can dream whatever you want. Which is so amazing because it completely changes the dream. You can only see yourself as God, is infinite. And before, there was this belief that you're inside a vulnerable physical thing, an object, a limited form called a body, which superimposed all of these limited rules that are then imagined by you as God. So you're God dreaming this, and then you believe that, and then you dream that, you project that world. So then there was this world of separation, and you thought that there was matter and that there were objects that could harm you. So then dreaming that, because you're free to dream whatever. So whatever you believe is your dream. So as God, you project that scenario to experience it, to taste it. What is that like? Mm-hmm. And there's all these beautiful analogies because as God, you planted all of these clues in the dream to wake yourself up. Like everything's the clue. You can look at everything as an analogy, a metaphor. Like the VR headset, the movie theater, the newborn baby. What happens when you don't feed a baby? So when you give something attention, it grows. And then you notice, what am I paying attention to? What am I feeding? So when we're paying attention to this belief, this erroneous idea, I am the body, we're feeding that idea and then projecting it in the dream. And all along, the only thing continuous that's always there is awareness. And that's what's real. And then as awareness, we're paying attention. We're paying so much attention to the character that we project our realness onto the character, which is like an insentient icon on the computer screen, that can't exist without you being aware of it. You're imagining it, but then we give it our power, assuming that the character is always there and that thoughts are always there and these stories are always there, but not noticing that they're appearing and disappearing like clouds on a sky. The sky remains always, this awareness that you are the one dreaming, the one aware of the dream. And everything appearing and disappearing is superimposed on you, just you remain untouched. So you dream in accordance with your awareness of your being and beliefs. So when you wake up to yourself, the dream completely changes, which is what the analogy of the golden age or sattva yuga is. It's like when you wake up to yourself as God, and then you dream that world. Dream a world of no suffering and no one dying, nothing getting hurt. Everything's your undying self, the one mind. So before there was this belief, it all started with this erroneous belief, I am the body, which is just part of the beautiful love story of waking up to yourself and recognizing yourself as God. But there can be this believing that and then projecting all of these limitations that come with that one belief. Like identifying with thought and then projecting time, identifying with perception and then projecting space and dimension, location, and then identifying with feelings and regretting the past and holding on to memories, expecting the future, weighing yourself down with all these stories, piling them on. Think of all the thoughts that, so like all thoughts, when there's a belief, I am the body. So you're God dreaming this, and then you're identified as the character in the dream. And all of a sudden, there's this illusion of a subject object relationship where you appear localized within your own mind as a separate object or separate subject, perceiving separate objects, so that you, as the one infinite mind, can experience yourself as a world or like a, as something within yourself, as a universe, something to be aware of. So then all of the thoughts are based on that belief, that one belief, I am the body, which isn't your actual experience. When you close your eyes and without thought, without memory, feel into the experience of the body, there is no body. Without thought, there's no thing. But even if you feel into your experience and then reference thought, all there is a bundle of sensations appearing in yourself as awareness, and the sensations are awareness. So it's you vibrating within yourself as sensation. There is no body. But that one idea, that one belief, all the thoughts, feelings, perception was based on that, because that's what you're dreaming. So then the thoughts are like all about the survival of the body, because you think that you're limited to the body. Like you think that the body came first and then consciousness appeared within the body, inside the body, and that it dies with the body. So then there's problem solving and worrying all day. Then the body needs a certain diet to be healthy. I have to do this and that for it. This is dangerous. This happened to it. I got this surgery. This happened to me when I was 5. I'm traumatized. This happened to the body, and then there's a handicap. I need to avoid these things and these people. There's an outside world that can harm me. Then there's competition and jealousy, aversions and phobias, anxiety. And it was all a scam. It was all a lie. All based on this ridiculous idea. I am the body. It was a simple distraction, a covering up of your infinite eternal being, the one dreaming this, the one imagining this, by being focused and immersed in experience, getting swept away in your dream, forgetting that you are the formless eternity, dreaming it, and that even the body is formless. Even the body that you're dreaming is your infinite mind. And that there's no other cause or substance than yourself. As awareness, all you can find in your dream is yourself, is your mind, is yourself experiencing yourself. And nothing ever happened. That was a dream. So waking up and recognizing yourself, consciousness seeing itself by relaxing into yourself as being aware, being aware. You see yourself as this empty potential, as pure stillness, unchanging, silent substratum for which everything's appearing and disappearing. Which completely changes your perspective. It's a shift in seeing yourself. You've always been yourself, even when there's resisting and even when there's identifying as the character you're dreaming and the thinking the world is real. You're always the one immaculate self. But it's like you uncover yourself from this experience. You take your attention away from the dreamed thoughts, feelings, sensations, perception, tastes, textures, sights, hearing, and you just turn around and look at your naked self, your naked being. Which completely shifts all the thoughts, all the beliefs, the limited beliefs dissolve because all you can see is your unlimited self, infinite, invincible. None of that shit was true. It never was. It was all a lie. It was all from that one belief, projected all of those scams. So it's kind of like wearing the VR headset, identifying as the avatar, thinking that you're the limit avatar that can die in the game, and then realizing you're the one infinite mind wearing the headset. So then you see everything for what it is. The doors of perception were cleansed. Everything would appear as it is, infinite. Everything is your infinite self, your formless awareness. And that's all there is. And you can't hide from yourself and you can't separate from yourself. You can only be yourself. Appearing is everything, tasting yourself is every flavor, seeing yourself and everything seen, hearing yourself in every sound, feeling yourself intimately. Everything is this pure being that you are. There is no duality. So yeah, what happens when you realize that you're God dreaming this? When you realize that you're infinite, limitless, ageless, you can never die. You've never had a body. And even the body that you see in the mirror is formless, is a beautiful hallucination, imagination of yourself, of your formless self. So what is your dream like when you know this? When you know this knowingly, doubtlessly, with all certainty? It's like playing the game on invincibility mode. It's totally free, free to be anything, undying, no fear, no suffering. You dream like you are God dreaming, truly feeling this, being this. There is no doubt or fear. So through every concept is, everything you see is a thought form that you're tasting, you're making appear, manifest in your mind. has the omnipotence, the power of awareness that you are modulating yourself into the, it's all awareness, but it's like you're vibrating at unique frequency within yourself to experience everything. And since you cannot experience anything finite because you're the infinite, you only know what a concept or idea or something is by negating what it's not. So it's only with reference point. And that's how you recognize yourself, is by dreaming this reference point of what you're not, to realize what you are. And then you can see yourself in everything as the unseeable, formless self that you are. Can feel yourself in everything. And that's that tantric quality of intimacy. Of being everything. You can only see yourself in everything. And this is how you, as the unmanifest, could appear manifest to yourself. To dream this sense perception, like the VR headset. And just like looking in the VR headset, the hologram is made of the field from which it's appearing in. So you are the field of awareness from which this holographic experience is appearing and disappearing within you. And you can only find yourself as awareness in every experience and every sense perception, in every thought and every feeling, in every sensation. So when it's stabilized, when you're, basking in yourself, you can see your invisible self, feel your being in everything, every thought, feeling, sensation, perception. You can taste yourself through flavor. You can smell yourself through every fragrance. You can hear yourself through every sound. You can see yourself through sight. Feel yourself in every texture. Everything is made of you, and you are pervading it, permeating it. Sensing, perceiving is how you, as the unseeable self, appear as a world to experience yourself. You'd have to appear as something to be aware of. So this understanding translates and transmutes everything into itself. You dissolve everything within yourself. And it's not like it's a doing or it's not that you're dissolving everything in yourself. It's you're seeing it. It's always been that. It's not that it changes because it's already is yourself as everything, but it's just seen clearly. So it's amazing how the world, you dream a totally different world. Which is what the analogy of heaven on earth, or heaven is, or Eden. You only dream heaven. No one's dying, no one's getting hurt. And just like the analogy of Jesus in the Bible, pointing to, you are God, you can walk on water. You can change water into wine. You can heal everyone. You can die for everyone's sin because you are everyone. And the resurrection is you realizing yourself as the infinite, that everything you see is the infinite. You are the savior. Because when you wake up, the whole world wakes up. You are the whole world. So it only takes one to transmute all the sins. Sin means to miss the point, to wake up and realize that all there is the one dreaming. The one that can never die. And upon investigation, it's all too obvious. What is it that can't be removed from myself under all circumstances, despite changing moods, feelings, thoughts, perceptions? What am I? What is always here? What is it that I'm calling myself? And what we call enlightenment is when your awareness of being is in the foreground of experience. You know, it's just all too obvious, which you're always your being, but it's when you remove, you know, when you stop getting distracted with the dreaming and turn around and look at yourself. And then abide as that, as the screen of awareness from which everything appears, that you're permeating and pervading, appearing as everything, making love to yourself. So before, experience seemed to veil your being, the presence that you are, unchanging awareness, but now it runs off of you like water on a duck's back. It doesn't stick. There's nothing sticky. You're timeless, timeless being. So even those words didn't happen. Where did they go? Try to get them back. You're invulnerable. You can't be touched. It's just timelessly appearing and disappearing within you. You always remain content. So you're not an object, you're the invisible being experiencing this, experiencing yourself as this voice, appearing to yourself within yourself as this voice. And that which is hearing this voice doesn't have a body, is pure consciousness. There never has been a body, there never has been a form. What we're calling a body is formless energy, empty potential, awareness. All there is awareness. So I'm not the avatar I'm giving rise to, or imagining, or dreaming. I'm the source of her, dreaming her to experience myself. I dreamt a reference point. A reference point to know experientially, and through this reference point of manifest conceptual thought, which is just mental quality, frequency, awareness. Perception is awareness modulating itself as senses to perceive itself as the universe. In order to be aware of something other than itself alone, the senses project the holographic illusion of experience, but all there is to the senses and the projected mentation is awareness, is consciousness. Awareness vibrates within itself as unique frequencies that interpret itself as an energy signature, something to know. Awareness doesn't know anything but itself, it has no knowledge. You are the self aware field from which your experience arises. Tasting yourself as this. It's so cool that the character that you see in the mirror every day is made out of your infinite mind. Made out of you is consciousness. Just like a hologram is made out of the field from which it appears. So even the avatar in the mirror is formless consciousness, is made of yourself. All there is your being. This silent substratum, this empty, aware field that you are. So there's just a resting as that, just basking and abiding. And it's too easy. It's not a doing, it's completely effortless. It's too fucking easy. And that's the problem. That's why you laugh at yourself. It's literally just relaxing. It's simply being. In fact, it's a non doing or undoing, it's like too damn easy. But that's all part of the love story. Worshipping yourself and dreaming yourself is what you're not, so you can wake up to what you are and recognize yourself. Right when this was recognized, I was like, oh my God, that was all a dream, that whole fucking life. Holy shit. And then I was like, wow, I dreamt that crazy shit to fucking wake up to this and recognize myself. And it totally makes sense. How else would you recognize yourself? How else would you experience yourself? If you're formless, unmanifest, non objective, all alone, singular, so you can't know anything. You know nothing. Like in deep sleep, when you, as pure awareness, are aware of nothing, there's no experience or reference point to, there's nothing to be aware of to experience. It's just so beautiful. So you dream a reference point. You dream what you're not. To experience yourself, to recognize what you are, to realize yourself as God. And then you dream as God. You have fun. This is your playground, your imagination. You can do anything. It's free. Freedom. No rules. No limits. No such thing as disease. No such thing as dying. And that's what you dream. Just a love story for no one. And if you want to chat, let me know. I just didn't know. Or yay! Oh my gosh, so you didn't have your screen on, so I just assumed that you didn't want to say anything, but we could have been chatting.
Could we have?
Huh?
Wow. Could we have really? Uh, well, we can chat now anyway. Um, I actually think I believe it's a dream now. Something remarkable happened over the past few weeks. I I started getting bad work at my job that pays half as much and doesn't use my skills. And then this morning, I didn't drink enough coffee and I was searching in my bag and I couldn't find my mascara. I could only find my lipstick, so I'm not wearing mascara. And
Hmm.
I was like, I don't want to live this life anymore. But I don't want to die. I just don't want to live this life. So I stopped taking the dream seriously. It's a stupid dream. I don't have to put up with it anymore.
Yeah. What was it, Alan Watts? He said, live like you're already dead. You know, like if even in that moment of saying that, you recognize yourself. You're not the character. You're not the freaking, you can never die. And all of this was just a story, you know? Like you've never even had a thought. Where is it? You're this timeless, immaculate, you know, eternal being that just can't be fucked with ever. Even when you try to trick yourself or fuck with yourself, you still can't be fucked with.
It's like I strategically made the dream crappy so that I'd wake home.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, I did the same thing. In 2017, I dreamt a fucking nightmare to wake me up. Yeah, and that was such a gift. I could see the beauty in all of it. And sometimes you'll dream a B movie, you know, just make it really shitty so that you can fucking wake up. Because you can't, it's not real. It's like it can be so ridiculous. My best friend Bubbles and I share these ridiculous videos with each other just to make fun of how ridiculous Maya dream can be sometimes. And she sent me this video of this guy that was getting sued for planting too many sunflowers in his yard. And it's just like shit like that wakes you up from the dream because it's too stupid. You're like, no, this cannot be fucking real. This is ridiculous, you know? It's
It's
so
not
hilarious.
real.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Because no one would want to live a life this stupid. No one would make the decisions that they make that are so stupid in this world.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like that video that Luminosity posted in our WhatsApp where the guy was saying God dreams itself as this, you know, these people farting in this in this suburb and, you know, Oklahoma or somewhere, like this shitty town. Like, how could you be that? How could you be limited to that? Like, wake up. It's hilarious. It is funny. It's just for fun. It's so playful. And then when you take it seriously, you'll eventually shake out of it, shake yourself out of it. But with the dream, the nighttime dream, I remember when it was starting, the veil was just getting thinner and thinner, and the nighttime dream became the daytime dream. It was the same thing. It was no different. It was just as, obvious that it's a dream. And like the veil would be so thin right when I woke up, because like you're just pure consciousness prior to mind, prior to story, like a newborn baby where nothing's ever happened. No, you never had a thought. Right before the thoughts come in, oh, I have this name and this story, and I have to do this shit today, before that happens, or it's just pure, And then in those moments, it just was so obvious. Like I'd have a thought of my dad, and I was like, oh my God, I don't have a dad. It's just a thought, it's just an idea. And then like there was one morning where right when I woke up, it was before I was like becoming it was just right in that transition or whatever, and it was so obvious that I was the huge vast consciousness from which the body was breathing inside of me. It was just so obvious. So that can, yeah, it's just amazing how it just gets more and more obvious.
So now, since I haven't figured out how to change the contents of the dream through any method other than doing stuff within the dream to have causes and effects, I'll just do exactly the same things I was planning to do, so now I'll enjoy them more because I don't care if they're stupid.
Yeah.
I'll just do my stupid job and have to walk for an hour to lose weight. And I, I'm I might skip one of my important goals that that I've mentioned to you before because it just doesn't seem as important anymore.
Yeah, regardless is all a dream. It's all playful. It's all your imagination, your playground. So yeah, there can be I mean, they're still planning and doing stuff even though there's no future and no, like yeah. Like I'm working on this platform, like and I'm not doing anything. I've never done anything, but it appears to be like there's typing. It's like we're the screen watching the movie being superimposed on us, just like magically rendering.
And
And
everyone's already God pretending to be asleep and have a problem.
yeah, but that's part of the fun, It's like, think about the nightmares we've had that we thought
Yeah.
were real. And
I'm
then,
not sure I've ever had a nightmare at night that was worse than my actual life.
oh my God.
Because I'm less disturbed when I'm asleep than when I'm awake.
That's awesome. Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah, I've had some freaking waking dream nightmares. Yeah. But that's what we do. We project that to wake us up, Because that belief in I am the body is the whole conundrum. So then you dream that scary world, like believing in the boogeyman, and then that's what wakes you up and you're like, "Oh my gosh. That was all my mind, all my a projection of the mind." And it didn't really happen. Nothing's actually happening. Yeah, the more you bask in your being, just silent, just being, the more obvious it is. So it's like you get firmly established. You get, because at first it can appear unstable, like um where you're kind of in and out, of the kind of like you're watching a movie at the movie theater, you're not in the movie, but then all of a sudden you're on the edge of your seat identifying as the character on the screen and you think you're in the movie. And
Yeah.
yeah, so then right when that would happen, I would catch myself and then meditate on my being again, and then I'd come back to, you know to recognizing. So it's kind of like I kept having to see myself in the mirror. I kept having to turn the mirror back around on itself or something. And then like even the analogy, everything's a fucking analogy. Like everything's a clue. Everything's just not what it appears to be, but it's just a pointing. So like even the analogy of exercising a muscle, it's like it got stronger, and then the screen was in front of the movie. It was like, and then just more and more you see the progress. You see, like you'll test yourself, where you'll dream, like if something that was resisted comes up, you'll dream a character presenting it to you. You'll dream yourself as a character to trigger you. And then once you pass the test, you're done.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did. I freaking kept dreaming the test to see how, and until it just didn't fuck with me anymore. And then there's all you can see is yourself, is the pure being, is peace, is contentment, is happiness, is, and then you dream pleasant characters, because it matches, your frequency, yeah, which is the analogy of heaven. It gets better and better. I promise. That's all I can say. It gets better and better, more and more magical every day. The veil gets thinner and thinner and
yay.
thinner. I mean, how cool is this? So you're the source of these words. You're the source of this voice, of this face on the screen, talking to yourself about what you already know, already being. So even resonating on this is you're already,
Oh,
at that being level, being frequency, you wouldn't be tuning into yourself as this frequency otherwise. Because think about before you even knew about non-duality, that was not your world. You were dreaming a different world.
yeah. I figured out an interesting metaphor for what you've been doing for me all this time. It's like I was in a prison made out of my own stories, and you were dismantling the prison from the outside in. And then you got to my cell, and the whole time I was like, I can hear all these noises about non-duality, but I don't know if they're helping at all because I'm still in the cell. What's the point?
That's
So I'm
beautiful.
glad I persisted.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah, we're one being talking to itself about what we already know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have known that trying to wean myself off coffee, getting worse work for 2 weeks, and losing my mascara somewhere in my bag would have been enough to stop taking the world seriously.
That's great.
Those were exactly the curses I needed.
Yeah, it's all a blessing. It's all fucking amazing, dude. That just happened with my mom. She was I'm always saying, "Mom, this is a dream. You're God dreaming this." She can't quite hear it yet, but she she okay, so we're trying to move her here to Asheville, and so she has all this stuff in her apartment, and she felt overwhelmed because she was like, how am I going to do all this? I can't even pack all this. I can't throw all this stuff away. I can't do. So she laid in bed for a couple of days depressed because she thought that there was this overwhelming mountain of shit to do, and I hadn't heard from her, and I called her, and she was laying in bed, and I was like, Mom, everything is going to get done for you. Everything's going to get done for you. It's all going to work out so fucking perfect. You're going to be laying in a chaise lounge watching it get done for you, because that's always how it is. It always works out, whether we see it that way or not. If we look back at everything, it always fucking worked out. So then all of a sudden there's a huge flood in her apartment, a huge flood, like the water's like this high throughout the whole apartment. And so shit's getting ruined and all this stuff. And so she's freaking out, and I'm like, Mom, you wanted this. You rendered this, because this is going to make everything happen the way you want it to. You rendered this. It's all perfect. It's all divine. And sure enough, my two sisters drove there immediately, like from out of town, and she laid on the chaise lounge watching them completely pack up the entire apartment, completely throw away most, whatever needed to be thrown away. So now she's packed and ready to go. It's like, see, if that flood hadn't have fucking happened, you know what I mean? Like, it's just all so perfect. It's crazy. It's so perfect. Oh my God. So this job thing, total perfection. It's what you wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, no, I don't feel so bad about my job. That's good. I feel way better about my job now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all works out. Something dope will render. It's amazing. And it's all just doing itself intuitively. You're witnessing all of it just completely untouched, uninvolved, yet just pervading and permeating, as like it's all made of you. You're just tasting it, tasting the frequency of it.
So when I don't identify as the character, I'll be able to watch the character achieve taking care of all of its responsibilities and doing everything it needs to do in the dream. And I won't care. It'll just be fine. It'll all be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's just for fun.
Won't be disturbing anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like realizing you're the one wearing the headset, that you're not the avatar that can die. And then you are having fun playing the game, watching it on invincibility mode. Because then you realize everything's made of you. The whole hologram is made of you. So, and if you're infinite and invincible, then everything is. So then you don't dream people getting fucked up or things happening, or, you know, you can even dream the avatar, living 2,000 years or something. And there's no age limit. Where did that come from? You know?
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. That's the analogy of Sattva Yuga, the golden age. That's right now. There's no time. So then you dream that.
I used to believe there was a reality, possibly multiple realities. Yeah.
Mhm.
It seemed perfectly logical at the time. I thought there just had to be one.
Yeah, it's
But
amazing watching. You'll keep watching the dream changing. Like even characters will change that you've been hanging out with before the recognition or before the shift, and then after the shift they're totally different characters. Like you only see or perceive the pleasant qualities from them. So then you're experiencing yourself as God, as everything. So then everything's godly, you know? Because even people that I would have labeled a monster in the dream before waking up and realizing it was a dream, they totally changed into friends. You know, it's crazy. Or then people fell out of the dream too, you know, it's like it changes, it appears to change. And thoughts change. I mean, think of how different thoughts are when you're not identifying as a vulnerable object that can be harmed. There's
And it can harm itself.
yeah.
Like it wants to eat steamed puddings, chocolate self-saucing steamed puddings. But
Hmm.
if it eats too many of them, it gets fat and considers that bad.
And that's just a
It's
thought.
badly designed. It just does things it doesn't want to do, and then it harms itself.
Well, that
Oh,
the harm is just a belief that it's harmful, which then as God, you render that or dream that or project that imaginary placebo. So it's not the food that makes anyone fat, it's the thought that makes that you're going to get fat because there's no food, there's no body. I mean, just like the icons on the computer screen are not what they appear to be. Underneath is just computer code. There's no chocolate eating chocolate. So there's no body. And the more that you wake up and realize this, the more invincible even the body is. Because when I realized this, I think I mentioned before that I did all these fun experiments where I realized that and I was like, oh my gosh, I can eat whatever I want because it's all myself as God and I'm harmless. I'm harmless. I'm benevolent. And so then you're basically blessing everything, like the analogy of Jesus blessing the food. So then I did this experiment where I was like, because I did used to watch the weight and all that stuff. And then I was like, I'm going to bless this food, this total trash, this total junk food. And I'm going to stop exercising for a whole month and I'm going to give myself a six pack. I'm going to freaking get thinner by eating pizza and cupcakes. And then I truly believe that. I truly abided as that. Like, like for real, for real. And then it appeared in the, you know, I dreamt it. So then at the end of the month, sure enough, I was skinnier than before. And I mean, so all of that is make believe. It's all a mind scam. There are no rules, there are no limits. There are only the limits that you give it. So you can really look at the beliefs and be like, what am I feeding? What am I projecting? What scams am I, you know? Because it's only unhealthy if you label it that. Just like the Japanese say, what keeps us healthy and living so long is cigarettes and green tea. If you believe that cigarettes will make you live longer, then it will, because you're God dreaming this. So your belief
yay,
protects
so
your
I can
brain.
start smoking again, maybe.
Well, I'm saying I'm saying it's that level. It's that
Only after I believe
see.
it, not
It's like
before.
seeing that, being that. It's like being that. So it's like shifting the way you see yourself. Like it's almost like the bird's eye view of yourself, and that's the side effect of basking and resting as yourself. Meditating on yourself is pure consciousness, pure. So that's a side effect of that. So then you realize everything was a placebo, everything was a scam, because it was all based on that erroneous belief I am the body, I am a limited object. And that's not the case. That's not your experience. So then it opens up to freedom. And that's what liberation is. It's like it's completely wild and free. You know, anything can happen. You can, even a limited thought is limitless, is unlimited, is infinite, you know, because it is yourself appearing as that. And it's all malleable and healable and changeable. That's why, like, you know, in the Bible, the analogy of Jesus laying hands and healing someone, everything can be healed, everything can be, is malleable. It's empty potential. It's just yourself as energy, formless energy. So that's a side effect of basking in being, because more it becomes more and more obvious that even the body is formless, even everything is yourself as pure infinite consciousness. There is nothing else. So how can that be harmful, you know? It totally shifted the way that I saw everything. I didn't even have a thought about any of that anymore. Like, it was almost like a hard drive that got deleted, because there used to be all these rules, and, like, you know, I didn't drink tap water because I thought that was unhealthy. And then all of a sudden, one day, I realized I've been drinking tap water for the past month and I didn't even notice it, because there's no separation. You are the tap water. You are the fluoride. You are everything. There is no poison, which is like, there were spiritual groups who were proving that, and they blessed poison, and they truly abided as the self, as the immaculate infinite self, and ate the poison, and it did nothing, because you're God dreaming this. It's amazing. And that's just a way of seeing yourself, because there's infinite ways to see yourself. You can see yourself as a finite form that has, you know, stuff that's harmful in a world. So you can see yourself as that too, which is just amazing.
I don't believe in this world anymore. It's too dumb. I don't want it. It's too silly. I don't quite believe in your world where absolutely anything is possible if you're by yourself. But I don't believe in this world either. I'm somewhere between.
Yeah, I don't believe in anything. Yeah,
It's like I'm still in a dream, but I know it's a dream, but it's not a lucid dream. I can't control what happens. It just does what it wants to do.
mm-hmm.
But I generally don't care if I have a bad dream because I wake up and then it doesn't matter. Uh, So
Yeah.
if bad things happen in my dream, it will just be fine.
Yeah, it's always fine. It's always perfect. It's always what you want. Yeah, whatever is appearing to happen is what you're longing for. And your appearing is all of it. Impersonal. No person. hmm Yeah, that's, don't believe anything. Don't believe anything I say or anyone says. And you have all the answers.
Angelo says, don't believe your thoughts.
hmm Yeah, you have all the answers in your being and your silence. Just in the silence, it's all the answers. And it's all intuitive, it's non-conceptual, it's not an idea. We use as the infinite unmanifest self, we project the mind to conceptualize, to experience, to qualify, but we're unqualified. We have no qualities. And so even when you're basking as pure beingness without thought, there's no labeling or thought about it. There's just you're prior to mind, you're prior to experience. Like the analogy of a newborn baby, you never experienced anything. There's no mind, but then you'll project the mind to give it qualities, and you'll be like, oh, that was peaceful. Gosh, I'm so peaceful. I'm silent. I'm awareness. But awareness doesn't say that about itself. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't qualify itself as anything. You're no thing. Yeah, amazing. Thank you, friend. Mwah. Big hugs. Love you. We'll talk soon. Yay. Yay. One being talking to itself. I'm you and you're me, but there's no you or me. There's just being. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.